I am from Pasadena, California, and Seattle, Washington. It was wonderful. I was basically raised in Pasadena. My mom was remarried. We moved to Seattle, so we would come back. We called it the Golden Ghetto, where we lived on the Arroyo and Zanja. And it was just a really great neighborhood, great time to come up. I went to San Rafael, and we moved, and then I came back, and I went to Blair High School. I graduated from Blair. Yeah, I think, was San Rafael the only school? Yeah, no. What's the school on Washington?
Longfellow?
Yes. I went to Longfellow, then San Rafael. Moved to Seattle, then when I came back, I went junior and senior year at Blair High School. What I do now, I'm a hairstylist for the film and television industry. I work on movies and television. I have done, I started really, the biggest show I did early on was Girlfriends. I did that show. And then I've been department head for most of the shows I've done. Department head means you run the hair department, you hire the people. So I currently am doing Uncle Buck, and it stars Nia Long and Michael Epps. I also do a show called Rizzoli and Isles, where I'm Angie Harmon's personal hairstylist on that. I department headed Get On Up, the James Brown story. I'm trying to think of all the other things. I'd have to go on IMDb to look at all the things I've done, but I also, every year, I'm the department head for the BET Awards. I really love that. Okay. And I do that and hire the whole the whole hair department for the BET Awards. I worked in Turning Heads at the time. Marie Hulamar owned the salon, and it was just something I always wanted to do. When I was in hair school, I kept saying, I'm going to work in the film industry. I just claimed it all the time. And I was married to a gentleman from Pasadena at the time, and he and I just kind of got together and said we want to work in the film industry. He got into sound, and he helped me get into hair. And we broke up after that, but he really did help me get in, because he knew people, and then that's how I got in. It's great to get you have to have your cosmetology license. What I tell people is I try to mentor people when I can bring girls in that don't need to have their cosmetology license, or there's something where you don't have to be in the union. I bring them in, and they assist me and help me. I have a few girls that I bring on to the BET. They can't do the hair, but they help me regulate and help the other hairstylists, just so that they are in the element and see how it's run. And I also have times where I can hire people when it's not a union job to come in and assist me too. So it's really who you know, but it's more than being a hairstylist. You have to have a etiquette about you. You have to have a personality. I don't believe I'm the greatest hairstylist in the world, but I have a good reputation because of how I conduct myself and how I can deal with difficult people. You know, it's not always easy. People have personalities, people have bad days, and you have to be professional, and you can't take things personal, and you just have to really do your job. And it's not an industry where people feel, oh yeah, I can get in, I'll be best friends with this person, and I can hang out with this person. It's a separate life. It's where I work and I come home. I love my life, so I enjoy being in my life. I'm never really got caught up in the Hollywood aspect of it. So I've had a long journey, and I have a pretty good reputation in the when you work in the film industry. It's really good to know how to do different kinds of hair. And where I see is a lot of people can't do black hair. So when you can do both, it's a plus, because usually when you have a show, all types of people. Even though I'm doing a generally African American show right now, I have actors and actresses that come in who are not African American, but I know how to do both types of hair, and the people I employ to work under me, they know how to do both kinds of hair. And then the actress who I do on Rizzoli and Isles is a Caucasian actress, so you know, so it's good to know how to do all kinds of hair. Wanted to start a group in my house. I have a friend of mine, her name is Dr. Linda Wallace, and she has an organization called A Company of Women. And she has little satellites all over the world. She's global. And I asked if I could have one in my house. And she said, of course. So we came together and I said, okay, I would love to do like a book. And I said, so when we start, I want us all to have read this book, whatever book I choose, and I want us to be about the book. I don't want us to really go through the book every day. I want every meeting, I want us to have read the book and then go from that point. So we started it that way. So a year ago, we came together and we chose a book called The Woman Code by Sophia A. Nelson. And it's 20 keys to unlock your potential. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but it's 20 keys, and she gives us different codes. So like one of the codes would be help other women as you climb. And then another code is don't cut what you can untie. And what's another one? Teach people how to treat you. So there's all these codes of conduct. So we started with a group and we started living the code. So there were women in the group who were struggling financially. There's women struggling childhood. There was abuse. There was all kinds of stuff going on. And we came together and we were transparent, we were open, and we were really able to help each other get through those times. I mean, we cried, we prayed, and I mean, it seemed like every time someone would come to the group new, they would just pour out and just start crying, and we would be there for them. And we would meet once a month. So in the meantime, we're like, you know what, we need to do something with this. So my husband and I were gonna give a reception because we got married, we went to Vegas, but we wanted to, and I just felt like it's such a waste of money to spend all that money for one day with people that you don't really see all the time. And it's a great thing, but it was just like, now that I call us ARP love, AARP love, we're older, so you're not 20, so you're not gonna spend like $100,000 on something. It's like, it's ridiculous. So I'm like, you know what, I have this money booked for this place, but I think I need to use it for something else. So I called the author and I asked, would she come? And if I gave an event, would she come? She's like, great. So we just started moving and bringing this thing together. I gave the book to my client, Angie Harmon. She loved the book. She said, I want to host it. I gave the book to Nia Long. She's like, I want to be a part of this. So she's on the panel. Sherry Shepard, who's on the other side with Sophia, who's the author, she's a part of it. So it's what happened in my living room. What the vision is for that day is to transfer all the stuff that happened in a year in my house that day at the City Club Los Angeles. And it's about women coming, being empowered, women being transparent, and women really helping each other. And then the call of action will be that women will start their own groups in their house after that, using the book and the keys and tools from the book.
That's awesome.
So that's what it is. I'm very excited about it. Tickets are on sale. And I have scholarships, because the tickets are kind of expensive because of who we have in the room, but I also have it's for women who can't afford it, where they can afford it. And I just want so many people to come because it's going to be a really amazing time. and powerful.
What's the date?
It's January 29th from 6 to 10 at the City Club, Los Angeles. And I'm on Facebook on the Woman Code event and also ACW Pasadena, where you can link in and find out more information. All of these things in my life, my husband, everything has been God. He truly has blessed me. He directs me, and I give him all the glory. And that's how I live my life. And when I talk to, like if I'm working with a certain person, it's always, I know that I'm there to give God to them or a piece of him to them, because that's who I am. So I know if I'm there, it's an assignment, and I'm there to give that piece to the situation. Future plans, I am in communication with my Heavenly Father with that, but I would really like to work on more movies, but actually I think I would really like getting into producing. And some friends and I, we started a documentary about Baltimore before all this stuff happened, how wonderful the city, because my daughter lives there, and I was just so inspired by how the art of Baltimore, people, like, there are artists there who are sustained. They can actually be artists and live there and make a living. And how the art, you like when you think of Baltimore, you think of The Wire, and it's so much more than that. And then there's these really bad areas where there's kids from all these art schools that come in, they're not bothered because they're beautifying the city, and the gang members, and it's just like an understanding, and people are really coming together to beautify the city. So it was really, really hard for me to watch what I saw during the riots, because I knew it wasn't totally what it was. And talking to people that I know that live there, a lot of the stuff were lies, and a lot of the stuff were aggravated, and it wasn't and because I've been there and I know the people there, it's not everything that we see on the news isn't what it really is.
It's misrepresented.
Yeah, it is. So, and we had started this documentary, so we're putting it together still, so hopefully we'll be able to put that out soon. But I would love to do more things like with the Woman Code. I would love to do more things that were inspiring or that would benefit women. I don't know if it's doing more events, or I don't know if it's in the film industry, but something in that line. Stop selling your property. I think if we teach our young, that's the one thing I wish my grandfather would have done better at. I think he and that generation were so busy being the head that they didn't really educate the younger generation. And I try to teach my kids to buy property, or at least the property I have, that it will go to them. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that we have to do better at that, passing it down and educating our children and how to save money and how to invest, and just telling them to buy life insurance young. Just things that we don't teach our kids that we have to teach, so in order for them to be able to afford this new, I don't even know if my kids will be able to afford to buy their own house without help, or be able to do it at all. I don't know, because I mean, this neighborhood is even changing, you know? So I want to be able to give something back. I'm not so worried about competing or catching up with, or being like, I've never been that type of person. It's always been kind of, I'd rather have something stashed aside than to have it all out for everybody to see. I think we have to do better at that too. We have to do better at just being more sensible and having a plan and helping our kids If they don't want to go to college or if they don't have that, don't make them feel bad. Okay, so what is it you can do? Because you don't have to go to college to be successful. I think college is a great thing. Don't get me wrong. I went to college, but I ended up doing something that I didn't have to go that. But you just have to be open to what your children's gifts are, and you got to listen to this next generation because they know things and do things differently. They're on the web. They know how. There's going to be all kinds of ways they can make money and do things, and it's not going to look like how we did it. So we have to be open.